Good morning. It's an honor to be here today representing UP Elementary as well as our district. As I started to think about what to say in this speech, I sought out ideas from friends and family. In the end, while I appreciated all the advice, I decided to stay true to myself and speak straight from my heart. My message is simple. Teaching is all about relationships. There's an old saying that we have all heard so many times before that we probably think is trite, but it's really true. Students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I have learned this time and again, both as a student and as a teacher. Let me explain. From as early as I can remember, I wanted to become a teacher. I can still picture myself playing school with my family, friends, and yes, my dolls too. We all did that, right? I played school just about with anyone or anything who would sit still long enough for me to teach them. Of course, playing pretend school was fun. It was stress-free, responsibility-free, and drama-free. Lesson plans? I taught whatever came to mind. Classroom management? Everybody behaved in my classroom. Differentiated instruction? Nobody needed individual attention because everyone was smart. Simply put, it was easy. So the naive me assumed that since playing school was easy and fun, the real thing should be too, right? Unfortunately, no. It was at about that time in my life when I was playing school that attending school went from easy to hard in no time. Around 4th grade, I began to notice I was different from my peers. Suddenly, I was the one behind. As a result, I began to withdraw, putting on the facade that school didn't matter, being that child who was singled out by my teacher for reteach opportunities which were embarrassing and disheartening. I disliked school so much that I would often fake being sick so I could leave in hopes of being sent home. To fit in, I tried playing team sports, but I could never follow through. I quit before I could ever fail or actually succeed. My family nicknamed me KQ, which stood for Kendra Quitter. Deep down, this nickname served as the motivation I needed to persevere during trying times. Little did I know how trying school would become. It never seemed to get easier. At times, I questioned whether college was for me. But on this, I didn't give up. Even after taking the ACT 3 times, I was finally accepted to the University of Oklahoma, where I was able to pursue my childhood dream, to be a teacher. These experiences and struggles in school continued to motivate me to meet the needs of every student, from the English language learner to the gifted student to every child in between. I never want a child to feel as I did. I remember those teachers who got to know me, really know me. Those were the teachers for whom I worked the hardest for, and I still remember them to this day. I'm sure you can all easily think of the faces of those students that you've gotten close to, pulled along, and made a special connection. To me, this is what it's all about. There are people in this room who I am proud to call colleagues, who I see make those important connections at times with their students, our students, need it the most. Given my experiences in school, I didn't, and I know you didn't, get into this because I thought it was going to be easy. We knew it was going to be hard, and we still signed up for it. It's times like these when our work really matters most. One student I will always remember is Kate. From the moment she entered my room, she repeatedly told me how much she hated school, but specifically reading. Just like I did as a kid, Kate would pretend she was sick during read to self and swear she was dying during many reading lessons. A trip to the nurse or restroom was her favorite way to escape this so-called torture. While she hated reading, I was relieved to find out she loved to write. I saw a lot of myself in Kate. My heart broke as the tears welled in her eyes when she stumbled over the pronunciation of a word or struggled to find deep meaning in a text. During an early conference with her, we talked about the connection of reading and writing. Her eyes widened as what we were saying sank in. It took a while and several reading-writing conferences, but as the school year wound down, she had made a lot of progress and finally had confidence. At the end of the year, she sent me this note. It's one of those notes that bring tears to your eyes and that you hold on to forever. She wrote, "Dear Miss Davison, the best thing you gave me this year was reading. In second grade, I read because I had to. But this year, you made me love it." I'm still amazed by that. I gave her reading, and we'll both live with that forever. Let's be honest. Teaching can be a thankless job at times, but those honest, from the heart notes, the misspellings and all, are what keeps us going. If you're like me, you hang on to these notes and read them when the going gets tough, and remember, this is why what we do, to positively impact the lives of students in our classrooms. Now let's talk about Tyler. One of those kids whose reputation preceded him. We've all had a Tyler. Tyler is a child who had been labeled at a very early age. And sadly, he believed that label. It took months, but as the year went on, I could tell he was trusting me more and more. At one point, he even noticed my tendency to enjoy a gummy worm. Okay, I admit, 10. I knew I had finally made the connection when one day he brought in a giant jar of gummy worms, just for me. Yeah, right. Of course, he would still say to his classmates, "Ugh, Miss Davison is so mean. All she does is make me work." But I could tell that Tyler was turning the corner. As you begin your new school year, I hope you'll notice the Kates and the Tylers in your classroom and find a way to reach them. Figure out what makes them tick and run with it. Build a relationship on trust and genuine care. Whether it's a gummy worm, a smile, or simple words of encouragement, even the smallest of gestures can make a difference. I may have been called a quitter when I was a child, but I'm not about to quit on kids now. It's too important. In any classroom, there will always be kids who learn easily. The ones like our dolls when we were growing up. It's the ones who struggle, the Kates and the Tylers, who need us the most. I know, because I was one of them. I'm proud of myself for learning from my struggles, persevering through difficult times, and reaching the goal of becoming a classroom teacher. Just as I am proud of my students for doing the same. As I close today, I can't help but feel humbled and honored for being selected by my peers at University Park Elementary School as Teacher of the Year. Each day, I am surrounded by talented educators who I collaborate with and who push me out of my comfort zone to be my best for my students. And like my students, when I'm feeling overwhelmed and succeeding doesn't seem possible, I rely on my colleagues to get me through. Building relationships is not only important for the student, it's obviously absolutely critical for the teacher. As you begin your school year, I encourage you to be that teacher who teaches not only what you know, but also what's in your heart. Let your students know you and strive to get to know them, both the easy ones and the Kates and the Tylers. A person who teaches with their heart as well as their head changes the lives of their students forever. Like a pebble in a pond, we really never know how our impact is going to end, how far it will go. Thank you, and have a wonderful year.